Hey Defenders, welcome back. In this video, we're going to configure automated Wazoo alerting within our SIEM stack using Copilot. So the tools in play in this video are going to, of course, be Copilot, dfir-irs, the tool that we use to generate and store our SOC alerts, and also Graylog. So the flow of data that's going to occur is Graylog is first going to detect an alert. Graylog is then going to send that alert via a HTTP webhook to Copilot. Then when we come to Iris, we'll see our alert populated here. First things first, we need to configure Copilot to be able to receive the webhook post from Graylog. So if I jump onto my Copilot box here and I open up the Docker Compose file, I've updated the recent Docker Compose that's on the GitHub. So if you have just recently installed Copilot, then these will likely probably already be commented out for you so that Copilot can receive the alert from Graylog. Now, unfortunately, we have to go over HTTP and we have to go to port 5000 because Graylog, in order to go over HTTPS, you have to add the certificate to the Java key store. That's kind of a pain for a lot of users. What we can do as a workaround is expose port 5000 of Copilot, and we will configure Graylog to send directly to this port following the appropriate path for the alert creation. So I'll go ahead and make those changes, save that file. Of course, bring Copilot down. If Copilot is still running, you want to bring Copilot down, change the Docker Compose file, and then we are also going to open up our .env file. And here we have a configuration for the alert forwarding IP. Now you're going to set this equal to the IP address of the server that's running Copilot. So I'm going to set that as the value here. So once I have those changes, I'll go ahead and run a Docker Compose up-d to go ahead and start Copilot, and I'll go ahead and start following the logs as well while the application starts up. Within Graylog, we can configure these alerting mechanisms. And essentially what Graylog is going to be doing is polling our wazuh-indexers for a specific event criteria. We can set Graylog to poll our wazuh-indexer on a particular frequency. When Graylog detects a match for an event definition that we've defined, it's going to trigger whatever notification we've set. Graylog out of the box supports like PagerDuty, Slack, email. In our case, our Copilot should probably be started up now. I've configured Copilot to do this setting creation for you guys under the hood. So it'll be a lot more user-friendly, hopefully, for you guys to get started with. So here within Copilot here, I'm going to go into Graylog and I can just select the management tab here. Of course, a prereq as well. You do need to have your connector for Graylog and dfir-irs configured. I'll go into alert provisioning, and here we'll see some of the templated alerts that we have built into Copilot. I'm interested in the Wazuh syslog level alert. We also provide a little definition as to what will actually trigger this. Because we are using the syslog level field, I highly recommend you guys to use the content pack that we provide for you. You'll have the appropriate pipeline rules that will make this alerting process possible, which I've done in a previous video. I'll link that in the description below as well. But assuming that you followed the content pack deployment, you can now go into Graylog. We'll go into management, go into alert provisioning and select enable. And now here we can define how often do we want Graylog to query the wazuh-indexer to search for alert. We have time in seconds. I'll just say every minute. I want Graylog to search the wazuh-indexer for the definition that I have defined. So once I hit enable, we get monitoring alert Wazuh has successfully been configured. I can go ahead and close that out. And if I go into events, we should also see our Wazuh syslog level alert has been created. I can select this guy to look at field specification, get some kind of meta details of what the alert definition is within Graylog. We've set the syslog level to alert. So, and we have a pipeline rule within Graylog that will do this. Again, if you follow our Wazuh content pack deployment, that any alert level 11 or above will set this syslog level field to alert. So that being any Wazuh rule level. So Wazuh rules, as you guys know, have levels defined to them. We want to evaluate that rule level. And if it's 11 or above, we're going to to set the syslog level field to alert. We also want the syslog type to be wazoo. Again, that's defined in our content pack. And we're also not interested in the rule group being Office 365 because we want this to only pertain to wazoo alerts, nor do we necessarily care about the vulnerability detector because vulnerability management should be handled differently than SOC alerts. So we want to also exclude that because this can get rather spammy. Let's see what's actually happened under the hood too. So if we go into Graylog, and if we first go into notifications, we have this send to Copilot new notification. So if I select this, you'll see the actual URL that Graylog will post to when an alert is created. So here is our Copilot application, right? In our .env file, we set that environment variable there. Port is going to be 5000. That's what we exposed within our Docker Compose. And then this is the path for the API that will create the alert for us within Copilot. When we enable it, we set our notification. So this guy will get created. And then if we go into event definitions, we also see that our Wazoo syslog level alert event definition has also been created. So if I go ahead and edit this, and if I select the filter and aggregation, we can see the search query that will have to match in order for this event to be true, which would then cause Graylog to invoke the webhook within Copilot to actually create the alert within Iris. You know, we set 60 seconds and 60 seconds, so that correlates, of course, to 1 minute. Another helpful tool to make sure like your search query is matching appropriately is like, I could modify this. So let's say I did 1 hour, and you'll see Graylog will attempt to run that search query and give back to us, hey, are there any events that actually match this search query? So in my case, there are. So this is another good and helpful way to verify that the search query that you're providing will actually match up against alerts as you're expecting. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to 1 minute. There's event fields that we set. We hard code these. I'll maybe get into that in a later video. That's a little more complex topic. And you'll also see that this event definition is set up to notify the notification channel that we set, which was our send to Copilot. So go ahead and select next. I can just select update. But again, this has all been done for you guys already. So within the Copilot web UI, all you have to do is select enable. If I refresh this page as well, I should probably change that to dynamic load. But you'll also see that this has also been enabled, so I can't re-enable it again. Now let's actually trigger an alert and kind of see this process go through. Here in my Windows box here, I will open up a command prompt. I am running, of course, my Wazoo agent on this, and I will just ping a known malicious domain. I'll just say evil.socfortress.co. This, of course, is going to invoke a DNS query on my box, which we are logging within Wazoo. And if I go to my search and set the syslog level to alert, we should see our alert come in. Here we see our ping. Ping was used to try to poll evil.socfortress.co. This is a num threat. Our syslog level field is set to alert. And if we also go into alerts, event definitions, select edit, and load the filter, we also see now, hey, we have a live hit for this guy. Our search query time is still 1 minute. We haven't changed that because this event just happened. At the next 1 minute cycle, Graylog is going to send the JSON payload of this alert to Copilot. So if I go back into event definitions and I'll wait till that 1 minute polls, we'll see the event be created within Copilot. And if I refresh this page here we see that the alert has actually been triggered. So if I just go to the alerts and events and refresh, here we can see the alerts that are being triggered and what event definition they pertain to. If I go into Copilot and then select alerts here, you'll also see the alerts that have been triggered. So here we see the same timestamp that we were seeing within Graylog. Our alert currently exists within Copilot, and what Copilot is going to pull what alerts it has received within Graylog and post those to Iris. And we wait every 5 minutes because if there are duplicate events, the same alert criteria would be the same Wazoo rule, the same agent name, and then the same customer code. So actually another prereq that you'll need to do prior to this for it to work appropriately is to provision your customer because the customer code, as I've discussed in the past, is a big part of what makes Copilot work under the hood and how it's able to stay organized. So now if I go into Iris, alerts are going to start to come through. Our sysmon event, our DNS query has come through. Our host name has been added to the event. If I go into Copilot and then go into SOC and then alerts, this is polling Iris to get all the alerts that have been created. And here we can see that our DNS event that has just been created. This in turn triggered a high severity alert. If I go to customer, I see the customer that it applies to. I can go to the assets tab to also see the asset that this correlates to. This would correlate to the agent name. So if you guys are familiar with Wazoo alerts, you'll know that we have that agent name field. I also have a link to Grafana. If you have your Grafana connector configured, this will also work for you. I can also select the agent ID here to jump to the agent within Copilot. I could run Velociraptor jobs. I could quarantine the device. I could see what cases, if any, this particular alert pertains to. Of course, it doesn't pertain to any as of yet because we haven't actually created a case out of the alert. I could select the alerts tab here to see what alerts have been associated with this particular agent name. If I go into alerts and let's find the alert that was just created, I can create a SOC case out of this alert. So I'll go ahead and do that. If I pop into Iris, we will see that now a case has been created for this under the customer Copilot. I provision the Copilot customer within Copilot. I can switch to this case. I can go like to the assets tab. I'll get my asset that was associated with the alert. I can make my notes here, do all that stuff, which I'll probably cover in future videos as well. I can also view my cases within Copilot that have been created within Iris. So we see that case has been created here. We see that it ties to alert number 6 that was just created. And all this is happening under the hood for you guys. In terms of the alert creation, what is still manual is that if you deem like, hey, this is actually a high severity alert and I want to create a SOC case out of this because I want my SOC team to do some analysis of the event, that would still be a manual process. But now we have automated the process of, all right, the staff has detected a high severity alert. And now we want to populate, not only create an alert within Iris, but also enrich it with like the asset. We get the asset details as well, such as we're adding the agent IDs. And this correlates exactly to the agent ID that is not only within Wazoo, but also within Copilot. We're getting the meta details of the Grafana URL, so you can quickly switch to that as well. And yeah, hopefully this will be an easy way for you guys to now start to integrate Wazoo and your Wazoo detection rules with Iris and using Copilot to do so. So more to come in the future on like how to now run like Velociraptor on the agent to maybe quarantine the agent, or maybe I want to get users logged into the box. Velociraptor supports a ton of what they call artifacts out of the box, which are really helpful for an incident response toolkit. So that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I appreciate you guys' time, and I will see you in the next one.